something different. They're not going to give out just one $100,000 prize to the greatest technologist or entertainer or designer. They're giving out 10 $10,000 awards to cities all across the world that are looking to redesign themselves for the future. So as you may have guessed, RocCity 2.0 is one of the applicants for this year's TED Prize. We just filled in the application and sent it in yesterday. Now, the foundation for RocCity 2.0 is rooted in our past. The American way of life, the development of Rochester and every great American city around the world was focused on the promise of a future that we knew we wanted. And what was it based in? Dreams of acquiring just what you need to make yourself happy. However, due to resource management, scaling, sprawl, the inevitability of the suburbs, this is what we got stuck with. And before long, we realized we weren't too happy with it. Now, a study done by the University of New Hampshire in 2003 has revealed that people don't necessarily want the white picket fence with the Chrysler and the car. What they do want, though, are walkable cities. They want to live in a community where they can walk between where they work, where they buy their groceries, where they buy the rest of their necessities, clothes, iPods. They want to walk to green spaces. They want to have access to resources without the use of an automobile. Now, this was a really surprising revelation for a country that for the last 50 years has based a lot of its structure of cities around the accessibility of freeways and the automobile. There's a website out there called WalkScore, which showcases cities and how walkable they are. And it's a depiction of the way American cities have really sprawled out, and we as humans have lost touch with this basal urge that we have to just walk to each other and to walk to our places of commerce and work and life and play. Rochester scores a 63 out of 100. Now, to put that in context for you, cities like New York, Boston, and San Francisco score in the 85 to 70 range. No cities have 100% walkability, which makes me curious as to what the algorithm is for 100% walkability. I'm at work. I'm at the store. Here's a look at the cities that rank approximately the same score as Rochester. And you can see these are some pretty impressive cities. Portland, Oregon, the land of the hipster. Baltimore, the land of Michael Phelps. No? Okay. Denver, Cleveland, San Jose, about to go on the map. They're about to get a bunch of new millionaires. Atlanta, Long Beach, and LA. Now, what we find to be really interesting about Rochester is that since our identity has become rooted so much around the car, we wondered, was it always this way? And the answer is the same as almost every other historical American city that was profoundly influential around the time of the Industrial Revolution. And that is unequivocally no, these cars were not based around the automobile. This is Rochester, by the way. Strolling down Main Street, you had the choice of multiple uses for transportation: trolley, horse and cart, or the good old-fashioned walking around. As you can see, as time moved on and more cars started flooding the street, however, there was less and less pedestrians. And now, what we're calling Rock 1.0, the Rochester of today. This is looking at a similar scape to those historical photos that I showed you that were littered with pedestrians, people walking around, participating in commerce, living their lives on the streets of the city. And this is what we're left with. Almost a hollow vision of our city. This is a Saturday morning, and no one's in our city. Now, part of the RocCity 2.0 project is that our thesis is we want to disassociate the automobile from the American dream, which is going to be hard, because we've been told it since 1950, pretty much. Which I can't figure out, because keeping up with the Joneses has never actually really made anyone happy. As you can see, this model for the American dream, she's pouting. I mean, it might be her shoes or her horrible bra top. But I'm going to go with the fact that she's not happy because she's not with anyone. What we want to do is reclaim our city. We want to allow for commerce to flood openly through grassroots movements throughout our streets. We want to reconnect our neighborhoods instead of getting in the car and driving from Swilburne to South Wedge. We should be able to walk there. We want art to fill our city streets. And that's only going to happen if people can feel like they can walk into their city and that they will be safe and surrounded with the other citizens that call it home. Part of our thesis is that we will encourage loitering. Loitering has become this dirty word plastered all over the signs of businesses in cities around the world. No loitering. Don't hang out in front of my business while I try to do business. But you'll find most of the cities where people are happiest are where loitering is allowed to happen, or even encouraged.
I think that a good city is like a good party. If you ask a guy, was it a good party on Friday? He said, oh my dear, I only was home by 5:30 in the morning. If people get involved in social activities, they will forget place and time and just enjoy. That's why I would say, do not look at how many people are walking in the city, but look at how many people have stopped walking to stay and enjoy what is there.
We're going to do that
There should be multiple things, many different reasons for people to come into a space. For instance, movable chairs. People, when they sit in a chair that's movable, they just move it just so much. So it's kind of their chair, and it's their place. Movable chairs also let you socialize. So they let you be by yourself. They let you be part of the city or away from the city.
So part of how we're going to sort of revamp our city has nothing to do with spending money, as you heard, right? It's about encouraging walking or even jaywalking. Let people feel welcome to flood their own streets. Encourage play. Let citizens mess around in their own city. Instead of kicking teenagers out of the Liberty Pole area on a Monday morning at 2 a.m., really, are they hurting anyone by skateboarding? We're calling in our plan for no more master plans. Now, master plans have their place. We do think so. However, when it comes to an already developed city like Rochester, we're going to encourage more of prototyping system, where we hold grassroots events, like the chair moving situation you just heard about in the video, that encourage people to really make the city themselves. We're going to go to the crowd to source solutions to Rochester's problems in terms of mobility. Now, we're so proud to have so many of the organizations on this list here tonight. Thank you guys so much for being here. We know you guys are off to a great start, which is why we at RocCity 2.0 want to make sure that we let you guys know we don't want to step on your toes. This isn't about, becoming some type of umbrella organization. We are not the Skynet to your Terminator. We want all of you to feel welcome, to participate in our movement, and likewise, we want to lend our support to yours. The streets of the city belong to the citizens. Now, as part of RocCity 2.0, part of our deliverables are going to be this: a map that's marked with historical places around the city, great places to eat, places to get out there, places you can walk to, and places you can bike to. So what's put on this map are places where you can park your bike, lock it up, walk, grab something to eat on a Friday night, walk down to the theater, then maybe go get a coffee or an ice cream afterwards. Those aren't disjointed items that require you to get in your car and drive between areas of the city. We're going to make it a mobile application. Excuse me. I just realized I have to write the code for that, so sorry. The reason we asked all of you guys to come here tonight is because we're looking for you. Media designers, engineers, architects, filmmakers, planners, code ninjas, photographers, mappers, people who like people who wear suits. We want you to come and feel welcome to participate in our events. We also want you to take action, not just with the organizations that you're doing, but go into the city yourselves and walk around. We also want you to like us on Facebook, because they're about to go IPO tomorrow, and why not? So, as I mentioned before, part of this RocCity 2.0 plan, what we think will help all the organizations in Rochester that are trying to make this city better, is that we work together and collectively use all of our resources as efficiently as we can. And the City 2.0 platform lets us do that. So if you guys wouldn't mind checking out the City 2.0 website, it'll take you right to Rochester. It's smart like that. Set up a profile, tell us what you're good at, and then link to RocCity 2.0. And that gives me access to you. Yay! Now, we're planning 2 events for later this year, June 21st and September 21st. Everyone here tonight that logs on to our either Facebook group or our City 2.0 group, you will be notified of these secret events later in the year. Now, these events are not going to be linked to the TED Prize, so even if we don't win the money, we're still going to do these things to change Rochester for the better. So, on behalf of everyone here tonight, the TEDxRochester team, Era, Sue, BadFish Consulting, thank you so much for having us here. This is an incredible space. I think nobody would doubt that this type of space is really important to the city. It's going to help people collaborate and work together in groups here, and that's half the battle. And I just want to leave you with one more statement on cities, sort of a summary of what we think the movement for RocCity 2.0 will encompass. Making us more mobile citizens in the city that we call home.
There's an optimism about cities in this century. There's a sense we're creating something that's truly global. And we're creating networks of people, not experts, people at all strata of society who are involved in the building of something special. But this is the century for city lovers. This is where it happens.
The challenge in the future will be, how do you manage demography? I think the physical plant of the city per se will not be able to determine the success of the city. Architecture will not be the only spectacle. And how you intersect architecture with mobility, with creating a humane environment through design is going to be the critical challenge.
We hope you'll help us make this city an even better place to live, because we already know it's pretty damn great. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening at RocCity 2.0, and let's stay connected after tonight. It doesn't end here. Thanks you guys so much.